When I was about 13, 14 years old, I just got into self-improvement and I started doing a very reasonable, very productive habit, which was to write down every single thing that I need to do for the next day. And with this information, I would carry this little notebook where I wrote it down. And if you've seen the last video, you know this is very important about writing down things. And well, whenever you write down things and follow it by paper, specifically saying, you get a lot better results on it. It is actually a lot better for you to write things and follow things for your day. But I actually made a lot of mistakes in the midst of this. And I'll explain you which mistakes I've done just about a little later in this video. But what I want to tell you is that you should be making mistakes. Mainly even at work. When you're working, you should be making mistakes. Well, why? I've made a lot of mistakes in the building of this channel. I've made a lot of mistakes even on the building of the videos on this channel. This basically means that I've made a shit ton of mistakes. But by doing them, by making the mistakes, I've learned from them. I'll give you a single example. Many times, whenever I would start recording videos, I would stutter a lot. And when I would stutter, actually I do stutter a lot by now, but when I do stuttered before, I used to start talking right away, right after I stuttered. And my editors, they've complained so much about this that I needed to change. This was giving them various difficulties for them to edit. And if you see any writing on the screen right now, my editor is probably talking bad things about me on the writings. But well, I don't know. So you understand, I've done these mistakes, but I learned from them. And by watching them and correcting from my editors, I learned how to make a slightly better video than my first video. And this tends to get better. Every single thing that I do tends to get better. Why? Because I make mistakes. The only person who doesn't make mistakes is the person who doesn't do anything. This is a perfect person. This is a person who doesn't make any mistakes. It is a person who doesn't do anything. So you, as a doer, as a person who's onto self-improvement, as a person who gets pride on your actions, should be doing everything and doing a lot of mistakes on everything. Since you are actually doing something. The mistakes prove your brain that you are actually doing something. Having something to correct makes it feel like a staircase for evolution. Or if it doesn't, it should be doing this. Making mistakes. If making mistakes for you is something stressful, is something that is not pleasurable, you're not making them the right way, which is to learn from them. So the right way to make mistakes, it is to learn by them. Try and learn by every single mistake that you do. And you see that doing mistakes is actually pleasurable. Having something to get evolution on is actually pleasurable. You should be getting pleasure by making mistakes since you acknowledge them. Making mistakes that you don't acknowledge, I understand, this can be painful. But there's a completely different work to do if you need to acknowledge mistakes, but to better off them, to acknowledge, after you acknowledge every single mistake that you do, to get better on them, it is so fucking pleasurable. It might be the best experience that you could have. So, you should be making a lot of mistakes if you are doing something that you're not perfect on. Like, I am kind of very good at playing League of Legends. So, as I am very good at playing League of Legends, I make very few mistakes. I don't play it anymore, or at least I shouldn't. But I didn't do any mistakes when I played it. That's why I got a high-ish elo, which I was able to reach Masters once in 2018 when I was very addicted to it. And since I had these addictions that made me good at the game was actually not as pleasurable as the very start of it. The game was kinda difficult to get evolution on, and this made it so much more boring. So that's what you actually need to understand. Actual development only comes from mistakes. If you don't understand this for your whole life, you will be a fucking retard who just plans things out and don't do any of them because you have fear of making mistakes, of doing things. This is the main fear that everyone has when doing things. It is to make mistakes. But only by making them, you are getting to have any development. Don't be a fucking retard. Make the mistakes. Make the things that make you do mistakes. So what I told you that I did when writing in a notebook what I would do tomorrow, what I would do the next day, I told you this was a mistake, right? It actually was. And now I'm going to explain you why it was a mistake. So it was a mistake mainly because I would write it. I would write every single thing that I would do the night before. Then I would wake up the next day, start doing it, and if something took like 5 minutes more than what I wrote that it would take, I would just cancel out the day, saying, I already made a mistake already, so I'm going to go play some League of Legends instead of doing my whole day that like I should be doing. So the huge problem around this was actually the fact that I would make a mistake and then, as a type of punishment for myself for my own mistake, I would do various mistakes throughout the day purposefully that I knew they were mistakes. Don't make mistakes that you know are actually mistakes. This is a dumb fucking thing. This is the dumbest thing. If you are doing mistakes after this video, just because the video is called Make a Lot of Mistakes, also Chancellor said me that I should do a lot of mistakes, you are actually fucking retarded. You are actually fucking retarded. That's the only way. Because what I'm telling you is not to use this as an excuse to make more mistakes. I'm telling you to use this as a form to learn with your mistakes, as a form to make mistakes as you should be doing them. Not purposefully, not doing things that you know are mistakes, but by acknowledging the mistake and not doing it again. Because if you do a mistake and keep doing it, keep doing it, you just made 2 mistakes. If you go in a battle, lose it, and don't learn anything from it. Don't learn anything from the mistakes that you made in this battle that made you lose. You just lost 2 times. If you learn everything, every single mistake, you can at least go out of the battle with 1 loss and 1 win. So basically, yes, making mistakes is good. You just need to learn from them. That's it. And remember, as always, the value of a man is just as high as his ambitions. Mwah.